We're back, everybody. GCS Spring. Winner bracket final coming up. Moon versus 120.
120.
120. And you did an interview with Moon at WCA in Yinchuan in December. And we asked him who is the most talented player in the world. And his answer was 120.
That's exactly correct. So you think heading into this game, he's going to be a little bit nervous? He played him once before and he lost 2-0.
Exactly. And I don't know, man. 120 seems to be incredibly strong versus Night Elf. As you mentioned, he beat Moon 2-0. He beat Warchief at WCA 2-1, and Warchief is incredibly strong versus Undead usually.
Yeah, definitely. He also played really well, but
yeah, it wasn't enough. It just wasn't enough.
The thing is, that's, again, we keep mentioning over and over. 120's micro is kind of crazy, as you guys probably know by now, and that's why he's so good in Mirror, against Orc, and against Night Elf. Against humans, not so much, because it doesn't necessarily always come down to micro. But against every other race where it's one base versus one base, it's always all about the micro. And I don't know, does Moon have what it takes? Because 120 is going to kite him across the entire map. He has no problems doing that. He has perfect fiend control, coil control, everything. Of course, we have to say, first map, Twisted Meadows, is Moon Meadows. Mm-hmm. But does that apply for this matchup? Because this matchup, so much of it relies around the level 3 Demon Hunter. And probably this is the toughest map for a level 3 Demon in the map pool.
It's gonna be pretty damn hard. Whew, but we'll see how things turn out. Just changing the overlay stuff here, so feel free to talk.
Yeah, it's still gonna be a little while before it goes on the road here. Players are not in the game just yet, but this is so cool. This is definitely the game I've been waiting for the most so far. I mean, the grand final is gonna be better, but out of all the ones we've had so far, this is it. This is the clash of the generations. Moon has been playing for years and years and years and years and years. He has made more than $300,000 from Warcraft alone, which is also pretty damn crazy. But 120, he is showing us what was believed to be impossible for the longest time, that Undead can win world championship titles. Well, he hasn't been there yet. He was very close. He came second, only losing to Infi in the last installment of the GCS. But now, with all the humans being out, he has a better shot at it than ever before.
Exactly. That's, I guess, the key to 120's victory here in the GCS. Every time that he was on a roll in big tournaments, there was always a human player stopping him. Most of the time it was Infi, sometimes Yumiko. Now he finally had the big win over one of the 3 top Chinese humans, that was TH, and now his way to the trophy seems to be free. He's great against Orc, he is incredible versus Night Elf, so Don't Stop Me Now is in his ears right now, I guess.
And the thing is, Moon, incredible against human, but against Undead?
Yes.
In Korea, there isn't the greatest Undead competition. There is Lucifer, who actually has been improving very much recently, but I still really don't think he's on 120's level. And there's Belief, who's also decent, don't get me wrong, but not quite the same level. I've read some comments, and some people said that actually against Undead is Moon's worst matchup. I would say it's actually the Mirror that is his worst, but it's definitely not his strongest. We all know against human it's his strongest. Yeah. And it's been a long time since last he was tested against a great Undead. Namely, it was GCS the season before, where he lost to 120 again. Yeah. So, I think on paper, we have to give the advantage here to 120, but Moon, man, I keep on underestimating him, you know? I'm kind of afraid that I will keep on making the same mistake.
Yeah, I think the same, and he had one day to prepare for 120. The winner bracket was over quite early for Moon. The winner bracket semifinal versus Infi was the first game yesterday. So it was an entire day of preparation. And he saw 120 play for 2 weeks now. They were practicing in the same room. He saw the games. He saw a lot, and that's not possible usually because 120 does not stream, so he doesn't give away his tactics and how he plays stuff. So it's kind of a big question mark how he improves that heavily.
I think a solid strategy to go for Moon would be Beastmaster Tier 1 or Tier 2 expansion. Because of 120 being so incredibly strong and solid against Standard, you know? I don't know that Moon can win this really in a Standard game. I think maybe he should go for these unusual strategies. And of course, the bigger the map, the better it is for expansion style game, long style game. Twisted Meadows obviously being one of those. So I could definitely see Moon playing the Beastmaster here first, or maybe, which we haven't seen in a long time, a Dark Ranger. Echo Isles, Turtle Rock, maybe gonna be a Dark Ranger. We know Moon likes to mix it up. At WCA 2014, he played solo Demon Hunter in the Night of Mirror, which nobody did back then, but it also worked. I mean, it didn't work all the time, but a lot of times it worked. So maybe switching it up a little bit here could be the answer again.
That's right, and it's not like 120 is unbeatable versus Night Elf. In the WCA qualifier, Shishi took a map, Remind took a map in the last GCS. Of course, it all comes down a bit to maps and stuff. The series were won by 120 in the end, all of them. 2-1 against Shishi and 2-1 against Remind. But has Moon contacted his old friend Remind and asked, okay, how did you do that in January? Tell me again, so I can adapt. Remind tried to go for the talent play versus Undead, which
that got destroyed.
To be an idea of Remind that might have worked in ladder games from time to time, but on tournament scale and on the highest of levels, that was just child's play for the Undead to deal with.
Yeah, I remember that. That didn't look close at all. When you play ladder and you're not good, like me, you oftentimes get defeated by mass talents or mass fairy dragons, also a fun strategy. But on the top end of competition, we have yet to see that really work. Question from chat, by the way, is it going to be a best of 5? No, this is still a best of 3. These are all best of 3s until the grand final, which is also going to be today. And obviously our last match or our last series, that will be a best of 5.
Yes. So, do you think that 120 knows about the achievements of Moon and he might get a little scared?
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, man. He's 19 years old.
I don't think he's gonna get scared, but I think he knows. Like, how can you not know if you are playing Warcraft? How can you not about Moon and all the stuff he did?
But it's different if you just read the results or something, or if you have actually seen the magic happen on stream or whatever, or if you were live in an audience. You are so much more impressed by the performances of Moon around 2007. And 2007, this boy was 10 years old.
Yeah, I don't think he is that impressed or that in awe of Moon, but I don't think that's necessarily because he's so young. I think he's just a guy who is not faced by nerves, you know? It's so rare that we see him slip up or that we see him, you know, get into a bad mental state and then lose because of himself. Best example, yesterday. First map against Fly. Many people would have been crushed and been like, holy Christ, man. I just got completely rolled. But he was like, yeah, whatever. One map, doesn't matter. Boom! Goes on to win the next 2 easily. So I think he has pretty much the perfect competition mentality, that he does not get thrown off by anything, that he doesn't create mental blocks for himself, and of course he has the mechanics to back it up as well.
True that. So I'm adjusting the colors here real quick, and we see Moon already. He looks a little tired, to be honest. Some shadows under the eyes.
Maybe went partying the night before the last day of the tournament.
Possible. Some players like to do that. But yeah, it was actually interesting to see Moon not sober.
Yeah, in WCA.
Yes.
At his birthday. And especially how drunk and tired he was, how nice he still was.
Yeah.
To see that he is not a diva at all. Like, not at all. He was, maybe after Flash, the next giant esports star in the world? Because everyone knows Moon. Like,
Yeah.
everyone knows Moon.
It doesn't matter if you play League of Legends or World of Tanks or some mobile game that was played at WCA. This guy had a following that was just like, yeah, superstar. Like, I don't think the Backstreet Boys would have gotten a bigger reaction than Moon did.
All right, that's a big statement. But Moon definitely one of the best known esports players ever.
Oh, I know.
And rightfully so.
So
But he's gonna have his toughest test so far here, I'm pretty damn sure. Unless 120 underperforms today, but we have yet to really see that.
Yeah, there is of course a chance that he starts sloppy into the series. We saw that yesterday against Fly. His start wasn't the greatest. The question
but he came
is,
back with a vengeance,
yeah,
man.
he came back even stronger, but it took him 1.5 maps to get his best Warcraft on the pitch. If that's gonna happen today, maybe Moon can capitalize from that.
But I think the nature of this matchup is much different. Like the Orc, if he outplays you in the early game, you are super screwed. Here, if you lose 2 ghouls, yeah, okay, I guess I lost 2 ghouls. But I don't think it's that punishing, you know?
Yeah, I agree, and we're gonna elaborate on that once the game starts, I guess. Both players are ready, and I think the production is ready as well. We see the GGGGG, and we go.
Oh, please, God, don't crash again, game, please.
Okay, looking good for me.
I'm praying. I really don't want to miss this game.
Who's gonna claim the frozen throne? And it all looks good on the technical side. Will the new undead be crowned with his sword? One more step. Oops. 2 more series he has to win to get the first big undead title since TED's WCG title in 2012. 4 years ago this happened, and now he has the big chance again. If he beats Moon and if he beats his opponent in the grand final later on. Oops, the cameras are wrong. So I gotta adjust that a bit.
Alright, Twisted Meadows is our first map. Usually we like to call it Moon Meadows when the legend himself plays on it. But it's especially great against human and maybe even orc, where you can buy time and, you know, have some space around the map. But of course nowadays, undead meta game against Night Elf is keep on pressuring. Like basically, the moment your DK pops out, until you hit tier 3, you never leave the Night Elf alone. At least, that's what the very good undeads do, and of course we know that's what 120 does. Another issue of this map here is, level 3 for Demon Hunter, very hard to acquire. And that is what is key for the mid game. Until you have Master Bears, the Demon Hunter is really the only thing that you can totally rely upon. He is your #1 most important tool in your toolbox. And the thing is, the Ghoul Scout early on can make creeping already very tough. Lucky for Moon, the Ghoul is walking into the wrong direction, but he will be there in time to see that the creep spot is happening. And I could definitely imagine Coil being skilled first, because if you can take away some of those experience, even if you don't have the aura later, is gonna be worth it. So, Moon, how good is your leveling gonna be? That determines how good your mid game is gonna be.
True that. Yeah, we saw the coil timings of 120 on Reddit, on the picture on our Facebook and Twitter. He has the best coil timings that we've seen in such a long time. So creep stealing is one of his biggest advantages. He chooses the Death Knight, obviously. Ghoul opening, as you mentioned. So, yeah, I can definitely see a mass expansion game of Moon, because no one is playing Gargoyles anymore, obviously. So mass expanding might be a little more easy for Moon than it is on other maps. Here comes the Death Knight. Claws of Attack immediately for Moon. And the first games of a series with Moon involved in the winner bracket were mind-blowing. A draw against Yumiko, a 1-hour game against Infi. What can these two players show us here?
And Moon gets all the last hits, doesn't lose the Archer. That is actually a very good early game for him. Little bit lucky with the Ghoul Scout not finding him quickly, but being left alone for the longest time. And yeah, good drop. He got all the experience. One skeleton kill for him, and he's gonna be level 2, so immediately this is a good start for Moon.
True that. 0 experience on 120, but he denies the skeleton. Otherwise, this would have been level 2 for the Demon Hunter already, and therefore immolation and a lot more toughness for the Night Elf's first hero. Wisp here to scout, maybe even to use the laboratory to some sort with Jappers, with Zeppelins. That's all a possibility. Moon is going for more archers. The Death Knight trying to go for the Wisps, but no army of ghouls coming just yet. Attack has started, Graveyard is coming, and no big pressure from 120.
And very early Graveyard, actually, this is. He is... Usually, Undead like to go to like 9 ghouls. That way they can put a lot of ghouls on tier 2, maybe even earlier, and also still tech pretty quickly. But maybe with this quick Graveyard, there we go, and only 6 ghouls, maybe he's gonna play this more defensively. Maybe he's gonna be creeping more himself. This is not the usual meta game, but hey, it's 120. He can kind of do whatever you want.
True that. He saved the skeleton with 3 HP. Pretty impressive against 3 archers. He's trying to go for the Wisp, but Moon's micro is on point. Saving the Wisp into the gold mine. Using the Moon juice, but not too much. Saving it now into a Huntress Hall. On the other side, the Demon Hunter is coming. Wants to cancel a Ziggurat. And if that works, 120 would be supply stuck later on. But the ghouls take care. But the damage is high enough, and he does so. Surround, but there's the staff. He gets out, you see the misses, and everything seems to be in order for the greatest player of all time.
Alright, so far, so good. Interesting that he wants to prioritize some harassment here over creeping a little bit up. The green spots would have definitely been able to be taken. That would have given him level 2. He's gonna do so right now, and using the Ancient of War trick here to cut through the trees to go to the Merc camp. This is really hard to punish, because when you engage with the ghouls, you're gonna be running into boulders and stuff, and there's probably a Shadow Priest from the Night Elf side. Is he gonna try to harass this? Remember, he has fewer ghouls than usual. Still only 6, and he's adding fiends now. So only with 3 ghouls here. Gonna try to pull off some harass. He's standing in the middle at the tavern. And not getting a second hero. It seems like he wanted to wait for the panda. If there is no panda, then he's gonna go Lich. Is that maybe his thinking?
Yeah, might be the case. But Moon is not going for the second hero here as well. His tier 2 is finished. But yeah, 120 is scouting again for the second hero of Moon, but there is none. Both with some mind games going on. The presence of the skeletons kind of delay the creeping here, and yeah. There is the Naga for Moon! Ruden style.
Yeah, alright. We've also seen a lot of Naga against human from him. And of course, when the opponent has the Naga, you don't really want to get the Naga yourself. Because usually with the Demon Hunter with boots, your Naga is super vulnerable, especially if Cold Arrow is coming in. And Moon being so aggressive, going towards the Undead main, and is, yeah, definitely gonna be able to cancel this Slaughterhouse. This throws off everything.
Indeed, the statues being laid is a big deal to 120's tech tree, but now the ghouls come in. Can he get it surrounded the Naga? He has a Naga on its own with Frost Armor and the Aura. This might be working, and it is! No, it's not, but he get the kill nevertheless. That's for sure. There's no staff, but Moon getting the Fiend kill in return.
Yeah, pretty greedy by 120, not getting the Narrow Tower. He could have done so earlier when the Demon Hunter was in the base the first time, but he really doesn't want to invest those resources, and because of it, he lost the Fiend. And of course the Slaughterhouse. With a Narrow Tower, the Slaughterhouse may have survived as well. So, the Naga kill, even though Moon loses his Naga, that's okay. Only a level 1 hero is gonna be back very soon. But the big thing is, the Demon Hunter, man, still only level 2. But I guess this will be changed right now.
Yeah, on the other side we have a level 1 Death Knight as well. Wind of Mana Stealing and the Mantle of Intelligence, and additional experience for the 2 heroes here. Engine of War retreated from the Merc camp. It was exposed, of course, his creeping plans, and now he faces towards the Merchant. Tome of Experience is possible here. Ramp Aura is possible here, so we're gonna see about that. Selling a lot of...
Oh, nice. He steals the Invul from his opponent's shop. Might be pointing towards a lot of early aggression, wanting to fight before the demon has an Invul. Stealing some creeps here, of course, would be great for him as well. Again, level 3 Demon Hunter. That's the sweet spot.
Can he somehow steal the Warlord. No, he is going back to his army, and it is Rune Bracers. What an amazing item against the nuking undead. We saw incredible nukes coming yesterday and the days before, so having Rune Bracers and a 33% damage reduction against Coil Nova is actually a big deal.
Yes, that's one of the best items, honestly, on this entire map. There might be red camps, but still, this is one of the best. He gives it to the Naga? No, he doesn't. Has it on the Demon Hunter. I think the Demon Hunter is the right choice here. The longer this guy can stay in the fight and can keep on mana burning, the better it is for him. And by the way, the first Wisp here at the natural, it seems like Moon wants to go into some mass expansion.
And that's exactly why we call it Moon Meadows. We've seen so many games with him, not having one expansion, not having two, but but sometimes 3 or 4 at the same time, because he said, okay, I'm gonna expand twice. If one of them works, nice. If both fail, I'm just trying it again. And if both work, of course, the game is almost over. And Rune Bracers for the Death Knight as well, selling it immediately. Up at 44 food he is, and getting closer to level 3. Tomb of Experience, of course, would help him. Coil level 2 is so amazing, but Tomb of Agility actually the worst that he could get. Moon now has level 3 on his Demon Hunter, will be level 3 on the Naga very soon as well. Tier 3 tech is finished, we're just waiting for the Lich to pop out. You see the statues immediately going for the Destroyer upgrade, and oh, the Lich is already there, excuse me. And of course the Orb of Corruption. So I always think when the Lich is out and you have the Orb, that is the Undead's moment to shine.
Yeah, but it all depends on the Demon Hunter. He doesn't have an Invul. With an Invul here, this would be much easier for him. He has a lot of damage on him, and of course the Rune Bracers. There's a bear here for Reju as well. Question is, does 120 really want to engage? Because his DK, first of all, is not level 3, and second of all, is low HP. And the Invul is on another hero. Here comes the Demon Hunter. This is exactly, of course, the way you're supposed to do it. Run in, mana burn, run out. And use Reju in between to heal up. But this is not a strong army by Moon yet. This is 2 Dryads, 2 Archers, and a Bear. Again, Demon Hunter has to be the carry here. And look at the nuke. Does damage. It doesn't do that much because the Rune Bracers help him out by such a lot.
It's only level 1 though, so the Nova helps him get the items, and it was the big healing, which is pretty nice for the Death Knight, so he doesn't have to use Death Pack. The Death Knight, the Demon is in problems, but another Reju heals him up again. 2 bears now, and they will of course just have these ghouls for breakfast. But the first Destroyer is up. He has no mana though, but he can dispel the Reju. Does so. We have the big first fight of the day. Oh, Demon Hunter again in problems. Heavy hero focus from 1 to 0. Has to be careful about the Fiends, but his micro is of course great. The ghouls are all down, but microed away. 1 goes down, 2 can be saved. That's pretty damn good.
That was last bit of mana on the DK though. By the way, the Demon Hunter in trouble now. But it seems like he is going to be able to out-micro this fight before the next Reju comes in. He can't really fight with his DH, but the expansion is up. Already in upkeep is Moon. He loses a bear here for basically free, so he's back to 49 supply. But now the pressure is really on 122. Finish out this game sooner rather than later, but he decided to go for the later game tech with a Boneyard in his base. It's going to be a long time before we see the first Frostworm. So far, these resources have not paid off yet.
True that, and he keeps on harassing, delaying the expansion to a degree. Next call before the mana burn, well timed here, but still level 2, still level 1 here. What, he transferred something? Mental of Intelligence most likely. Maybe a little bait to get the Demon Hunter in, or the Naga. Still no level 3 Naga though, more Dryads are coming, 57 food for Moon. And he's attacking the tree now. Maybe kill it and then Town Portal out. Heavily commit to this kill. Might be the wrong solution in this, so he finds a good balance. Just yet.
Yeah, Moon wants to wait for as long as possible before he really commits to this attack. He wants to get more and more units. Would love to get some reinforcements as well. Here is a statue. Won't be slowed by the Dryads, but will be slowed by the Cold Arrow. And it seems like with a mana burn, the statue will definitely fall. But will it be traded for the Tree of Life? It certainly looks like it. And the first expansion did not work.
Indeed, and that's what we saw at WCA. Moon always went for the expansions. but they were cancelled over and over and over again. Will this work again with 120 here? He gets another Dryad triple level up, 3-2, and now the Undead is a lot stronger, but doesn't have that much mana because the statues were all slaughtered. 2 Fiends dead. Great fight by Moon. Will he get the third one? No, the Town Portal is here in time. 49 supply for the Night Elf, 54 for the Undead. That is due to the Frostworm.
Forgetting one statue there in the fight would have probably not made the big difference, and 120 catching a lucky timing there, like when only 2 or 3 bears are out, that's when he can still win the fight, that's when he can still kill the Expo, but now 4 bears, that's a little too much to ask for, but he got what he wanted. He got the one cancellation, and I wonder, was this delayed or this hanging back of the statue intentional, because now the Destroyer is harassing the expansion, but with Dryad and Archer here not going to be able to get it, but gets information anyways.
True that, and he knows, okay, Moon is going for that, he's not cancelling his game plan. By the way, True Shot Aura for the Night Elf is great for the Dryads and the second hero, the Naga. So yeah, he sends the Dryad away so the Destroyer can do some damage here. That will help. By the way, in the upper left we saw Rune Bracers on the Death Knight. Again, we have 2 claws. No orb just yet for Moon though.
A player's forces are under attack.
He's gonna get that in a minute here, I think. Probably gonna sell a claws for it, because the other items I think are better. If you get staffed out, heal back up in base, and then staff back in again with a staff teleportation, that makes your Demon Hunter very strong. Speaking of which, now in trouble, there's a Frostworm here. He has to use the staff. Is it gonna be enough? Oh my Jesus! No, he dies in base! He dies in base! Look at the Hunter's Hall! It was not enough!
There he is, dead. You see it. Here's the blood of the Demon Hunter. Fork Lightning did the last hit.
Oh. And he looked at his experience. He looked at his experience and noticed that the Demon Hunter died. And now the time to pounce is here.
Indeed. With the Frostworm, with 3 nice heroes, he will get him supply stuck for sure. What more damage can he do? Dryads sent out, not being intercepted. But he refrains from... Yeah, he knows, okay, the expansion must be my target now.
Did the Destroyer die? Nope. It's parked to the side. I can barely click on it. Alright, 70 supply versus 60, but open battlefield. That's where Moon wants to fight. How many bears do we have? 4 bears. By the way, Shade scouting this perfectly. What's going to be the focus? So far, we've seen a lot of hero focus. To start this fight, there's no man on the DK, but double heal scroll. This Frostworm has to be the carry here, I feel. First Fiend falling almost. The Cold Arrow helps out. Demon Hunter in the back is gonna take a lot of damage. Invul keeps him alive as well, though. Nicely microing above the forest is 120 with his ranged units, with his flying units. Now the Lich, though, in a lot of trouble. Has the Invul. Is he gonna have to use it? Seems like it. Yeah, there we go. But now, second Frostworm coming in, but the Destroyer is very low. First heal scroll, heals him back up again, but so is the Demon Hunter. Full HP, comes in once more. Has the healing potion. Lich and DH, both in trouble. Which is gonna go down first? Seems like it's gonna be the Demon. No! He swaps over the Town Portal just barely in the nick of time. Loses the Frostworm, but gets more bears. 55 supply for the Undead after this fight. Moon at 51. He has to run back down here to defend his expansion.
Yeah, 62 it actually is. He immediately started the next Frostworm. Is the damage enough? The Trio of Life is back to full health. He's focusing on the Entangled Goldmine, but from the back comes Moon again. There is no Town Portal on 120. Only a heal scroll and the big healing potion and an Invo potion. That's it. No escape mechanism whatsoever. Going with the Nova onto the Demon Hunter again. There is evasion and a lot of sustainability. Once again down to 50%. The bear is dying immediately. Now he has to take care of the Dryads and get
only Dryads.
A ton of experience from them. They're easy to kill if you have enough Fiends. It's only 2 though, but the Naga makes up for it with almost level 4.
No bears at all anymore. This makes the statues, Fiends, and heroes so much stronger. Now the Naga in problems of Moon. She doesn't have a TP. She has nothing as she's gonna fall right here. And this might be the beginning of the end. Moon only 36 supply remaining. He may have an expansion, but this one did not pay off at all this game. These expansions were a bad investment. Usually Moon makes them work somehow, but not this time.
Oh, he tries to buy some time. The Demon Hunter is back on level 4. He's hard hitting. He can sustain a lot of damage, but not this amount. Not this amount. The statues are getting the mana back up for the heroes. There's gonna be a Nova, there's gonna be Fork Lightning, and of course the 3.5 hero, the Frost Worm. He'll do the damage as well. Moon's expansion for the second time down.
Alright, 120. Does he want to take this slow, creep up the rest of the map, or does he want to finish this? Is he going to run into the base? He should know that there's not much moon juice left. There was a lot of fighting already, and it's daytime. And yeah, he's not going to take this late. He wants to finish this right now, and look at the army. Kind of the dream on that army. Triple hero, a few fiends, 2 Frostworms, Destroyer, statues, A-bomb. This is exactly what you want, and Moon does not even have 2 heroes, and only a single bear as well.
Yeah, without the Naga, it's gonna be really hard to get those units out of the air. He's going for the hero right away. Don't give a single fuck about a Dryad here, and it pays off so well. Bear immediately sniped again. Oh boy, the Abomination, of course, tanks a lot of damage. The Dryads don't do that much. He's buying time for the Naga, but it takes so long. Level 3, 110 seconds for that hero. The positioning of the heroes of 120, great. The Demon Hunter cannot mana burn.
And now he's going for the altar. Doesn't look like this Naga is gonna be coming out the old-fashioned way. Demon Hunter again copying a lot of damage. He has the invul, wants to save it for an actual fight though, but will not be allowed. Has to use it right here. Again, the Dark Ritual, man. So many Dark Rituals have been coming out to deny experience. This Demon Hunter is not close to level 5, and this Naga will not be seeing the light of day. The altar is down. Moon is retreating back into the base. He's being pushed back into his base. The shop will be next to fall by the looks of it. And this Demon Hunter struggling to survive this entire game. And there's no bears coming out for Reju. And that's it. Moon taps out. And 120 continues to play very impressively.
And he killed the Demon Hunter once and almost a second time. Despite there being invul potions, despite there being rune bracers, he just knows when to go for heroes and... Oops, I'm super bright now. And when to do something else.
That staff though, man, that maybe decided the game. Well, I don't know, if he gets out, he still... Moon doesn't securely hold his expansion, but with the Demon Hunter dying there, that was of course a massive blow. And it was, you know... It was a little bit up to the damage rolls, honestly. It was just like a difference of 5 HP or something. Yeah. So very, very close. Pretty damn unfortunate for the legend.
Yeah, the hero focus definitely saved 120's game here. We see the Naga kill right at the highlight reel of Twisted Meadows. But the creeping of 120, I gotta say, I'm pretty damn impressed with how fast he was able to get the 2 Merc camps. He got the big items there that helped him a lot, and that was his first experience, basically, in the game.
One thing I have to criticize about Moon, he plays the Naga because I feel he just prefers the Naga. He likes the Naga. But then he chooses the Naga and he plays her like a panda. He creeps her up, expands, and waits for his opponent to attack into his expansion. That's kind of the panda playstyle. Okay, he did that one push with a Naga immediately after getting her, but usually with the Naga, the big strength is Naga plus Dryads. That's so much slow, so much control, and usually that's where you try to creep check your opponent to be aggressive on his side of the map. But he didn't do that. He didn't wait for his Dryad timing for this big power spike. He went for one aggressive play, then crept the expansion, and kept on creeping. I think his choosing the Naga may have been the wrong choice. Maybe a Panda would be better, or if he goes for the Naga, you know, play it a little more aggressively.
I agree to a point. Maybe he would have played the Naga more aggressive if she wouldn't have died right away. Because he was going for that push, you know, and then he surrounded the Naga and killed it immediately.
I think even if the Naga survives there, he still plays defensively because he wants to expand. That's his overall game plan. Yeah, and he would have, at that point, he would have had to retreat, expand, and then be aggressive is weird because you move across half the map to attack, then you move back across half the map to expand, and then you move back half the map again to attack. You know, that is a very inefficient way of playing. But I think his plan, his style of game against Undead with the expansion does not synergize that well with the Naga.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe he switches things up. The next map is Tarina's Stand. Historically, a good map for Night Elf. Historically, a bad map for Undead. But what is left if Moon wins this? The first win on Twisted was actually a big one for 1-0. Because of the map choices alone.
Yeah, I would like to have a stat here. Maybe we can figure that out in a break or something. The guy who wins the first map most of the time wins the series because, of course, then the guy who lost has the map choice. But after that, if it's drawn, then you have the map choice again.
Yeah.
So I think it's pretty rare that players come back from a 1-0 deficit.
That's gonna be a different story in the grand final, though, because there we're gonna have a best of 5 without any advantages. The game starts, and it does not crash for me, so we're all good. 1-0 for 1-2-0.
And the map is Tirana Stand, of course. Moon loves that map, just like many Night Elves love Amazonia, but not Moon. Moon is a little bit different. Moon wants to take it long. Moon wants to have many, many expansions. But that's the thing, you know, that is not really the meta game of today. The very quick expansion against Undead. Yes, you do get expansions, but usually you wait with it a little longer until you have that perfect army of, 4 bears, 3 dryads or something. But he goes for it early, when he's still more vulnerable. I certainly expect him to be trying to expand as well here. We're gonna see how it pays out.
Indeed. In the upper left, 19 years old is 1-0. In the bottom right, 30 years old is Moon. It's really a clash of generations. I think... oops, that's spike for me. It's getting better, I guess. Yeah. Moon has to adapt, you're absolutely right. But level 3 Demon Hunter will be very easy here. Depends now, of course, on will 1-0 go for the hero kill again? Will he be as aggressive towards the Demon Hunter again? And does Moon know how to evade these coils and these attacks?
Yeah, that's the big thing here. Demon Hunter level 3, extremely easy. You take those bottom 4 camps next to your base, and it's not impossible to punish, but very hard to punish. Usually you get away with that, and even if you don't take these exact camps, you get level 2 right away, and then there's many, many creep camps you can take to get up to level 3. So Demon should have an easy time getting to level 3. But we saw before, 120, he does not fear the fight of having to go up against a level 3 Demon with only a level 2 Death Knight. He's not afraid at all. 120 plays very, very confidently. He doesn't hide away too much. He still tries to go out onto the map and tries to get some creeping done, get some damage done, whatever he can, wherever he can. By the way, that's also a nice difference in his playstyle compared to many undeads. He does not sell the Town Portal because he does try to get a lot of stuff done out on the map. So he wants to have that get out of jail free card if he has to use it. And this time he sells it, of course, as I say it. Goddamn Caster Curse. But usually he doesn't sell it.
Yeah, we saw that from Shun as well. Maybe that's kind of a new approach for undeads, not selling it and go for a lot of coils aggressively. That kind of switched like 2 to 3 years ago, that the coil is not used for nuke that much, but more for healing. Maybe 120 found the answer that this is better at the moment to go for the nukes, and yeah, this Death Knight has been sent away to harass while the ghouls and skeletons finish up the creep here. So a little experience for the Death Knight, and he has the Cloak of Shadows, can be put to good use. But of course there's a Wisp at the laboratory, so there will be scan, but that costs gold.
Very bad items, by the way, for the Demon Hunter. We also have to mention Ring and Cloak as the worst crap you can get there as a Demon Hunter. Again, Demon Hunter has to carry this until the late game and is his main source of damage output, and of course the Ring and the Cloak don't help. I guess the Ring makes him a little more durable, which can be made an argument for, but yeah. Slippers, claws and stuff would be much more appreciated. Ghouls now simultaneously creeping. This is the thing about Tyrannus. Lots of small camps. You really don't need your hero to creep that stuff for you. He's not going to be hitting level 2, but he's going to be getting close. And I'm surprised how scared Moon is playing. Look at this. He's not even creeping the little green camp. I guess the merchant would be risky, but it seems to me the green camp here with the kobolds should be easy to get.
Yeah, he stays very, very close to his base. Now kind of exposing himself, but no surround, despite the fact that there is, of course, the Unholy Aura first. And yeah, that is a good amount of experience for 1-0 early on. We see the Undead struggle to find levels because the Death Knight is busy harassing the Fiends, harassing the Wisps and the Archers. No last hit from Moon, so that is level 2 and we have Coil available. And a good army of ghouls here. Engine of War is far away from the base. Yeah, and he was trying to go for the second surround. But Moon escaping for the second time. All good things come in threes! And he gets the surround this time and he will not be able to fight out of this, or will he? No, the coil on the skeleton saves him, and that must be the town portal, the very early town portal for Moon.
And he almost saved the ghoul as well.
Yeah.
Almost, man. And he gets the archer. Whoa! Actually, he doesn't. TP keeps her alive as well. Lots of moon juice has to be invested, though. And more importantly, the TP is gone. If he gets surrounded again, he might be falling. But now there's one ghoul less. So it's tougher to surround and tougher to hold the surround if you get it. So Moon now looking pretty confident, actually. Especially compared to how careful he was before. Now, though, no skeletons. New attempt for a surround. He cannot let this happen again.
Moon has to be even more careful now. Without a town portal, what can you do? He's risking a bit. But yeah.
Naga or Panda? What's it gonna be? Naga again.
Wow. In Night of Mirror, you often choose the Naga if you feel pressured and you need damage quick and you need something that has some value and does something quick. Maybe that's the case here now because the Panda wouldn't do too much right now.
I would be able to breathe down these ghouls over time. Oh, and now the Naga and the Demon gonna be able to at least get one ghoul kill, maybe more. By the way, this time he opted to go for more ghouls. Last game we saw only 6 going into Fiends right away. This time it's more like 9 or something. So it's gonna delay his Fiends. Last game, by the way, he also did not get Frenzy. This time probably gonna go for it. Nice block here with the DK, keeping the Demon Hunter alive. Can he keep the Naga away as well, though? Because she has the Cold Arrow. I guess he can't block both.
Nope, but it seems to be enough. But the Archers of Moonsides, they block as well. Oh boy, what's laying there? Okay, he blocks the Death Knight again for a second, but I think the aggressiveness of 1-2-0 is off for a second. Demon Hunters, the Death Knight still hanging around. Tier 2 tech by Tier 3 tech immediately for Moon. He has the lores, obviously. Yeah, he has the Naga, so Tier 2 is finished for 1-2-0. We see the same. And Fiends are coming as well.
Alright, this is gonna be, I think, the 4th ghoul lost. Maybe even 5. Alright, so this one in the north definitely dies, made to the creeps, but dies in the end anyways. And this ghoul will be falling as well. So there's a lot of damage that Moon has been able to put out. Is it worth it? I think so. The Demon Hunter may not be level 3 yet. Trying to deny, not getting it. But that's a lot of ghouls, man. That weakens his tier 3 timing by a lot.
Yeah, it's only 4 ghouls remaining. Usually you have like 6, 7, whatever is left here. Lich is the second hero. Very, very late, though, to get full experience on the Death Knight. But after his creeping, he wasn't able to get that much. Of course, he got the town portal. And that is quite big.
Look at his confidence again. He goes aggressively with one Fiend. When he knows there's a Cold Arrow and Dryads are coming in as well, I think this is a mistake, bro. Ooh, lucky. Does not get slowed on the Fiend. If one Dryad Spear hits there, that's a lost Fiend. But I wonder, why is he going over there? I said before, 120 always plays so confidently. Sometimes that turns into overconfidence. There he was only almost getting punished.
Second circlet, second ring of protection, and on the bottom of the map, this is Moon again, expansion. And he kept the undead busy with chasing the ghouls around the entire map. So this is the time he has. 1-2-0 is on the opposite side of the map, so he can't do that much that quick. The Lich is out with the orb immediately. Will we see a third hero as Naga, or is he going for a dual hero? Let's see about that later. With the orb, of course, creeping is a lot easier. He needs experience now fast, and he needs to take the big spots like he did on Twisted Meadows. For Moon, of course, it's the time now to get his expansion up, halfway through, creep that spot, and yeah, try to keep it alive this time. Bears are
I like
coming. Messed upgrade
I like
too.
Moon's choice this time to go for an Expo, because he knows if there was supposed to be a timing push coming, he definitely weakened it. He didn't lose, remember, he didn't lose a single unit. He lost the TP, but that's all. And he got 4 or 5 ghouls, something like that. And that is a big deal. I mean, losing a ghoul or 2, you know, whatever, it's a ghoul or 2. But when it becomes 5, then it really starts to become noticeable.
Now the level 3 on the Demon Hunter. Now Fork Lightning on the Naga. Rejuvenation on the Bears. Master Bears are coming. But on the other side, we see a Mantle of Intelligence on the Lich. We see the Robe of the Maggie and the Orb. This will or might turn into a DPS monster. But for now, he's keeping the Robe on the Death Knight. 4 more mana, 4 more coils. Tome of Experience for Moon, by the way. That is level 3.
Here is also a possibility for a Ruined Bracers. In my opinion, the best thing he can find here. But there's a lot of good ones for him to grab. Let's see, what's it gonna be? Zoe Mask, also decent for the Naga.
Yeah. But Naga is definitely not a priority here. At least not her spells. So she will have constant Frost Arrow. Yes, that's true. But Fork Lightning is not as important as Breath of Fire, for example.
One of Illusion, by the way, from 120 scouting things, and because of these scouting information, feeling safe to take this creep camp where he only finds a wand of mana stealing, but now has to retreat, knows the Night Elf might be coming. Level 3 Lich, not yet acquired. Level 3 for the DK is there. We have again the Frostworm tech with the Boneyard. But again, gonna take a long time, and time is all that Moon wants with the expansion in his back and already getting into upkeep.
Yeah, we have a Shade now on the side of 120. Not too many skeletons running around. That's usually what makes him so strong. To have vision throughout the entire game, sending in your not used skeletons everywhere to get info. This time, not too much. Now, of course, he keeps tabs. Now he keeps track of what the Night Elf army is doing.
He scouted before with Wand of Illusion, and I think before that he was pretty much the aggressor for the longest time. So I think still lots of information gained by 120, but you're right, not necessarily with the skeletons. The thing is, if a timing push hits here with the first Frostworm and most likely the Naga, the army that Moon has, it might be big, but it's not the perfect army yet, you know? There's still 3 archers in here, which are okay in the late game, but certainly not as good as Dryads.
That's right. Orb of Venom now on the Demon Hunter, as well as a Claw, +6. So he's doing good damage as well. Naga clicking up even further, and yeah, 120 can only get the little spots on the maps. The big ones are all gone. The Lich will be level 3. No, actually not. 2 XP missing, but there's another green spot here, so we will have the Aura level 2, the Nova level 2. Moon goes shopping. Only an Invu Potion, no. Now there's the Heal Scroll. In the last fight on Twisted Meadows, 120 had 2 Heal Scrolls, Moon had nothing. Now he has even a Heal Potion. He knows that the hero focus was strong on the first map. This time, we don't have a Naga though.
But I think if he wants to fight, he needs the Naga. The dual hero, in my opinion, don't seem to do it anymore against today's Night Elves. And he almost has the resources. He's waiting for another Frostworm, though. He decides to invest those resources into the next Frostworm, and that takes even longer, gives Moon even more time. Might this be the wrong tech choice right here? Would maybe Morphines have been a better choice? Of which, by the way, he only has 3, but there are no Ancients of Wind, so there are no Hippos coming, and is he actually gonna play this with 2 heroes? So I guess your call might be right. Only Lich and DK, but really, it's been a long time since I saw that work against top Night Elves.
Yeah, but sometimes if you do a lot of damage, you get to level 5 a lot quicker, and then Coil Nova combo might be better than the Coil Nova Fork Lightning combo. So maybe he thinks, okay, there's no creep spots anymore, so that's why I don't go for the third hero.
But the main thing about the Naga is, of course, the slow and the hero damage. The hero damage type is actually important, because everything else in this army is piercing or magic, does very little damage to hero armor. And controlling the Demon Hunter in these fights is the crucial thing. As long as you control him, much like against Orc, as long as... Oh my god, it's the Tinker. As long as you control the first hero, you're in a good position. Was that a misclick?
A Tinker? What is the reason for this tinker?
Well, it's obviously gonna be a pocket factory.
Yeah, you get some space and protect your
Ah.
fiends a bit.
I don't know about that one though. I don't know about that one. All right, the master's gonna have to show us how it goes.
The army looks massive thanks to the Wand of Illusion. He duplicated a Fiend and a Frostworm. Moon, does he think that he faces 3 Frostworms? I don't think so. He measures the damage. The bears are falling though. The question is how much damage can the Dryads do to the worms? And the Illusion is actually soaking up a lot of damage. The real Frostworm's still pretty good, and now, the Tinker is in problems, and the Tinker is immediately dead.
But all the bears are gone. This makes the fiends and the heroes pretty damn strong. With the bears being dead, now it seems like he's gonna go for the demon. Invol still in the inventory. He has to only use the healing potion. And yeah, this demon hunter is standing strong. And the Dryad's taking care of the air. First Frostworm has already fallen. Second one has to be microed back. And the destroyer will not survive either. Frostworm dies as well. Demon hunter almost level 5. Nice coil saving the fiend here. Demon hunter is gone, but only for a little while. It's just too much stuff, it looks like, for Moon.
Yeah, Dark Ritual saves one fiend, but the rest is completely gone. 39 food versus 63, and the expansion is still up and running. The coil arrives one last time, most likely, but that's about it. Moon, pretty impressive fight! The Tinker was not the best call, and we could get it. Ancient Isle will be the third one.
Yeah, I think no matter which hero he goes for there, it's just too tough. The expansion has been running for too long. Moon has too much stuff. He has double heal scroll, or one heal scroll, not sure. Double invul. He has a lot of Dryads, a good number of bears who tank for long enough. So, yeah, I don't think it's necessarily about Tinker. I think he thought like, damn, I'm far behind. What is one thing that could make it bring me back? Maybe is it gonna be a Tinker? Because that guy is more sturdy than a Naga. And with a Pocket Factory, he provides a little bit more soaking up of damage. But I think the ghouls were really the issue there. Losing 5 ghouls, that is too much. You cannot contest the expansion, first of all. And secondly, if you try to all-in the expansion, you are going to have a weak attack. The third option against an expo is a counter expansion. Would that maybe have been the better idea? But as we all know, Undead's expanding rarely works.
That slows you down so much, and Moon had already like 3-4 bears. And once the bears gets a grip of expansions or your fiends, then it's over. I'm pretty impressed by Moon's comeback skills here. That early game of 1-0 was great, with forcing the town portal and stuff. But yeah, then of course the ghouls lost happen, and that what opened up so much time for the Korean.
But interesting choice by 120 this game, switching it up. Before he went for only 6 ghouls on Twisted and quick fiends. But here on Terranas he's like, alright, if I don't apply pressure to the demon, he's gonna have such an easy time getting to level 3, getting to level 4, so I need more ghouls early to apply pressure to threaten the surrounds. And that worked. Of course, after that, losing 5 ghouls, that was a little bit too much.
Yeah. So it's one last game. Who's gonna go into the winner bracket? Who has to face Fly in the loser bracket? I think the series between 1-0 and Fly have always been so damn close. It's hard to make a call on who's the favorite here. Fly is super strong versus Night Elf. Moon is pretty good versus Orc. It's gonna be super duper interesting.
Ancient Isles, though, is the thing that we have to keep an eye out for next. Level 3 for the demon, really hard to pull off if the Undead scouting is on point. And it seems like players are ready, and we're going to be getting into this shortly. Do you want to make an assumption here? Who do you think is going to take it?
AI, I think it's not that great for Night Elf. And the thing with the ghouls won't happen to 1-0 again. So my money is on the Undead.
Rationally thinking, I would go for 120 as well. But I think this is his tournament. I think this is a tournament, so I'm going to go with Moon.
Okay, yesterday you said it's going to be Fly's day. What changed your opinion?
Well, it might not necessarily be his championship, but it might be his breakout tournament, So, not necessarily he's going to win it, but I got a feeling here, I got a gut feeling he's going to be playing marvelously on Ancient Isles.
You got a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night, you say?
Tonight's actually going to be a boring night, but this series and this tournament and this finals coming up later, I got a feeling those are going to be very nice. All right, winner bracket final, guys. We're still in here. First map has been won by 120 on Twisted. Second map goes towards Moon. Tirana Stand, his map. Twisted Meadows usually as well, but probably not against Undead. But now, this is the Undead's choice. 120 choosing Ancient Isles. And whoever wins this is in the grand final already. Is guaranteed top 2 already.
Yeah, top 2 means $3,000 and the chance to boost it to $6,000. The loser has to play with Fly, the game for third, so to speak. And the loser of the loser bracket final will take home $1,500. In the upper left, 19 years old, 120. The champion of China. He won the first WCA qualifier in the final against ZDR. He eliminated Fly, and in the group stage he overcame ZDR and Infi and Shishi. So pretty good time for him. But Moon on the other side, he failed in the Korean qualifier for WCA. Did he make it to the playoffs? No, he didn't, right?
Yes.
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't, right.
He didn't make it to the playoffs even. Fell to Lin, Focus, Law Liot, and Reprisal. But he seemed stronger than we've seen him in quite some time here in this tournament in Shanghai.
Especially if he gets to play the game he wants. And the game he wants really seems to be expansions. Moon is kind of like the humans of China. He wants that expansion. He wants that expansion bad. But he noticed on Twisted Meadows, it's not that easy to pull off. It worked on Tyrannus, but there he had a good head start into the game. Is he gonna try it here once more? By the way he's been playing so far, I certainly assume he is gonna try to get an expansion once again. But this is Ancient Isles. This is a lot harder than other maps.
Yeah, I'd agree. The expansion is far away from your base. And the other thing is that here are a lot of trees. And the trees, you can use them to save your worm. And that definitely suits 120's gameplay.
Yeah, and getting to level 3 here is difficult as well for the Demon Hunter, and your expansion is close to your opponent, so being creep-jacked while creeping that is also dangerous. Lots of creeps the enemy can steal as well. And as well, one thing for the Undead here, gets quickly to level 2, as we can see after completing the Scream Cabin will almost be there. Triple Detonate, where mistake from 120, not splitting up his ghouls, that is level 2 for the Demon. And once more, this guy, experience, absolutely crucial. Once he gets to those 500 experience points, which is level 3, he becomes a real danger. But how easily is he going to be able to get there?
That depends, of course, on how greedy and how much pressure 120 wants to apply here. We see a good amount of ghouls, but not too much. He's adding one, so there might be a ghoul push coming. Skeleton scouting this. This is what I was talking about on Tirana's stand. He always knows what his opponent is up to. But no Wisp Harass just yet, no level 2, but no Aura. He has Coil first, right?
Yeah, he got the Coil first because taking that creep camp there, the Ogres, without the Coil is very dangerous. Of course, with a Coil it's faster, and the Demon Hunter can decide to run across the map immediately upon completing his creep camp, and then you might start losing ghouls if you do not have the Coil. And usually you easily get level 2 somewhere, as he is now simultaneously creeping with the ghouls, will give him level 2 and the Aura, and the Skeleton keep on scouting because he does not want Moon to take another creep camp.
No, but the Skeletons are not feeding Moon as well. He sends them away, splits them now, and I was kind of afraid that this would bring the Demon Hunter closer to level 3, but no. Sending them away denies the experience. Claws of attack for the for the DK will be great for the Lich later on. Tier 2 tech in progress, halfway through. Graveyard is in time. On the other side for Moon, we see the same. The Hunter's Hall is a little late.
That's true, and that's actually a bit of a problem. Dryads will be later, and of course Dryads are the big tier 2 power spike for the Night Elf. And again, 120 hanging around the tavern, would love to surround whatever comes out of that building as the second hero.
Yes, will he switch it up this time? I highly doubt it. Not that easy to creep on AI, as you mentioned before, so a Panda Might be a risky choice for him. Maybe he trusts the bow of the Naga a little more. And here comes the group of ghouls. 5 of them. What can he accomplish?
Right, he knows there's no level 3 demon and he's probably far away, so the Naga is still very viable. If you go for the Naga yourself and you have a level 3 demon facing you, that is very tough. But he knows level 3 demon far away, here we go, Naga for him again.
Exactly, and there's no wisp nearby for Moon to get to the tavern. Has to send his demon hunter right in now, blocking a bit, but he knows, okay, the archers are coming, the null goes to 1-2-0. Yeah, to the undead. But
Responding
Naga,
with his own Naga, Moon is... How many ghouls will he get here? He has boots on the Demon Hunter, but there are coils to save, and there is a Naga to slow the opposing Demon Hunter. Alright, one ghoul will be falling, but it seems like that's gonna be all of it. There's not much damage to take at all, and he also took away a little bit of experience from his opponent's side of the map, so I would say so far so good. Oh, but the archer reach around, trying to go for a block on the Naga. No level 2 burn though, but here come the cold arrows. How good can the ghouls block? Nice coil preventing the block from the archer. High level play coming out from both sides. One more ghoul might be falling. No! The coil again arrives in time, of course, as it always does. And now there is the shop for safety. And both players retreat, but I think all things considered better for the Undead because again, he keeps the Demon Hunter away from level 3.
I would agree, the Naga's so greedy, didn't even buy a potion. Now the block from the ghouls again, maybe it's around. No, now the floodgates are open for the Demon Hunter. Can he save the Naga?
Oh, surrounded!
Yeah, he's trapped. But for how long is the question? He keeps him trapped! And there is no staff. The staff of preservation is on the Demon Hunter. Can he swap him over to the Naga? Doesn't look like it. This looks like another town portal. Oh, there was the arm in the air already for the coil. But not enough.
Great trade right there. And the thing is also, especially with having the Naga, which will be low level, remember, still only 20 experience on her, she is way more squishy than the Panda, obviously. So not having a TP, not having that survivability mechanism is dangerous. So already this game looking way better for 120 than the last game we saw.
True that. This is the real strength of 1-2-0 that we see here, but never underestimate Moon. Here we go, big item probably. Health Stone. Nice for a Naga at the moment, I'd say, because she can't get coiled and healing is always appreciated. Now Moon, his natural expansion, will be free. Is there a wisp nearby? I don't see one. Nope.
There's no Dryad coming from the main. Yeah, I mean, he took a lot of damage here early on, so going for an expansion right now would be incredibly greedy. I think this would be definitely the wrong timing. But might be going for it later. He creeps it free, of course with the Ancient of War, that's the best creep camp you can take there. And is getting closer to level 3 on the Demon. Will finally have reached it after those 2 trolls if he sticks around, but he doesn't. Places the Sentry Ward, delaying his level 3 even further. Speaking of which, DK is very close to level 3 himself. Naga of 120 level 2 with 2 nice items in her inventory, claws and gloves. Claws +9 have also dropped for the Demon at his natural. Another Sentry Ward, he has great vision around the map right now.
Good info. But yeah, the Naga is one of the best damage dealers in the entire game. Will the Demon Hunter be able to get something here? Almost this round. Next attempt.
Oh my god!
And this must be it. No, he's not getting it with 4 units. It's so hard with the ghouls. And that's it. He does not get it. This time we have Wind of Illusion once again for 1-2-0 and the mana burns coming in. And he knows, okay, Destroyer upgrade is not finished, I think. No, it's about to be finished though. And
but that was so risky, man. He went in there without a TP, without an invul, without a tele staff, without the Naga nearby to staff him out. If he loses the Demon right there, he probably loses the game. So, oh boy, playing with fire.
The Naga could have tried to save him with a staff, but then she would be exposed, obviously. Only 1 staff for Moon. He knows about the likeliness of a hero nuke, and he's only going for 1 staff at the moment. 43 food for the Undead. We see 47 for Moon, and he comes in for a creep check. Coil Nova immediately countered by Rejuvenation. No Dispel just yet, because no Destroyer in the air. He values the regen higher. Okay, now the first Destro is up, and he gets the second big item, Heal Wards it is.
He has to take this fight by the looks of it. Going for the demon again. Still no level 3 man. Still no level 2 mana burn. Massive mistake from Moon. But now the Lich in trouble as well. Being healed up, however, because again, there was not enough mana burn. But the bears are standing strong. The Lich has the health stone. So even though he's getting low, he might survive this. Also the TP still on 120 side. The Demon Hunter has to hang way back because he's low. And there's no reju at the moment. Seems like no bears are close to the fight to heal him up back again. Kiting backward is the undead. The Lich again in trouble. But the invul should be popped right here, and it is. Demon Hunter way too far forward, has to be staffed out. Maybe now the Naga of Moon in trouble. Next heal ward coming out. Destroyer just barely surviving above the trees. Moon would love to get this Lich, but there's no mana for Fog Lightning on his side. And his Naga might be sticking around a little too long, but I guess she's far enough away. She's safe. The statue survives as well, and so will the bear. Well, he's pretty slow. Probably Frostmourne is gonna hunt it down. Where's the Demon Hunter? He's coming back, but he's low HP. Seems like the Moonwells really don't have that much left in him, and I don't think Moon should be engaging here at all.
No, he took heavy losses. 46 food for him, of course. He's rebuilding a lot at the moment. One Dryad, one Bear. And everything is hurt for him. You mentioned it. There is not much Moon Juice left. It's daytime for quite some time. And yeah, the healing will be hard. And the creeping for the undead progresses. Level 3 on the Naga. Fog Lightning level 2. Lich level 2. Dark Ritual now. Tons and tons of mana.
Oh,
and
man,
we don't
look
see...
at this. Everything is low for Moon. This is extremely risky if he gets caught out here. But he won't. 120 doesn't suspect him down there.
That's true. He's going for the shops maybe to get more items here. Devotion Aura is of course not that great. But now finally he has the level 3 Demon Hunter. Finally he has the level 2 mana burn, which will of course result in less Novas, less coils whatsoever. And yeah, he went for the shop. Heal Scroll, Invu Potion. The Invu Potion on the Naga as well. Only the Lich is exposed, but there is... Oh, there's no mana on the Death Knight.
Can always swap over, of course, the invul if he is quick enough, which usually he is. By the way, 120 again opting for the late game tech of Boneyard and Frostworms, but a little bit later this time. I like his adaptation here. He wants to go for Frostworms, but, you know, later. I want to still have a strong early tier 3 presence with lots of frenzy ghouls. So the Frostworms will be there, but it's gonna take a little while. And so far he has been able to utilize that strength pretty damn well. 50 supply for both players. Moon really closely only getting out of that fight alive. And now seems like the last few camps on the map will be contested.
And yeah, looks good for 120 in regards of experience. Level 3. 3-2 for him. 3-2. Almost 3-3 though. Heal Potion on Moon. Because he knows, okay, the shop here is empty. I cannot get a Heal Scroll. I cannot get an Invo Potion. Which I would desperately need.
Are under attack.
By the way, also level 4 now for the DK, I think, after this camp. Which is actually a big deal. The level 2 aura helps you a lot with kiting, with microing, and obviously that is his big strength. Not quite there, 9 experience still missing.
And maybe he would be going for Dark Ritual. For, what's it called?
Death Pact, no.
Death Pact.
No, not against Night Elf. Alright, Moon heading into the main base, finds a Fiend for free. That's a nice pick-off, but then has to TP out. He forced the TP, so that's a good trade for him right there. And I think he also wanted to scare 120 into upkeep production, but he's not gonna be scared.
He's so calm. Just, you know what? You want to trigger me? Not with me here. No expansion for Moon, by the way. He's adapting as well. Not only 1-0. Also the Night Elf knows that he did some mistakes with the expansions in the early game. And here on AI, it's so hard. 4,500 gold remaining. And then, until the gold mines expire, 1-0 needs a solution. Because, of course, there is the Tree of Eternity. You can uproot him. You can walk over to the next gold mine.
And Moon going into upkeep right now already, without there being an expansion backup and without there being many creep camps. If you guys don't play Warcraft that much and are a little bit confused, like why does that matter? Well, when there's a lot of creeps on the map and both of you of course want to creep them, then it's certainly worth it to go into upkeep to have the better army, because the better army usually wins the fight, and the army that wins the fight usually gets to take the creep camps. But there's basically no creeps left at all on this map. There's a little tiny green one, but that's not really worth that much. So Moon going into upkeep, he's certainly not gonna attack into the undead base, at least I hope so for his sake. And there's still no expansion coming for him, and you can see how desperately that Undead wants this experience. There we go, level 4 now finally for the DK. Has the level 2 aura right now.
I like how Moon split his Dryads apart from the rest of the army to scout here between the trees to see the Undead coming. Who is in upkeep now, by the way. Abomination, Frostworm in production 2 actually, like the games before. So what's the response of Moon? His hero levels look okay-ish. His inventory, he has an Invo Potion finally, but only one. And only one staff, no town portal. Reveal being used because he's afraid of the Shade, but the Shade arrives 1 second after the reveal.
Perfect timing once again. By the way, 0-0 upgrades on both sides, especially Night Elves usually like to get them, but Moon really skipping out on him. Again, Dark Ritual coming in, denying the experience. But 120, does he want to fight yet? Not really, because there's still a Frostworm back at home in production. 70 supply, still stuck in the base. So he kites backward, of course. The level 2 aura on the DK helps that a lot. And Moon, 72 supply already, man. He's mustering a big army, but also what we are used to from today's metagame is Hippogriffs. Hippogriffs in the late game, but Moon not deciding to go for them at all.
No, there's no Engine of Wind. Just a good amount of Dryads, but they can be sniped with a decent amount of Fiends and the Lich, obviously, and the right clicks from the Naga. They have to be on point with their right clicks. Scroll of Healing and Invo Potion on the Naga now. Same on the Death Knight. Lich has an Invo Potion. So the inventory for the Undead is tremendous. No heal scroll for Moon. I think he doesn't really need it because it's more single target damage, no splash.
But also, he doesn't have an invul or a TP on the Naga. Speaking of which, she is a little bit far forward. But 120 not wanting to take that fight just yet. Mass piercing damage against the Frostworm, dealing well with that flying heavy hitter. The bears have to be kited, and they're being done so too pretty well. Lich now in a terrible position. Invul has to be used very early into the fight. Demon Hunter now exposed. Invul on him as well, but the Lich might be caught on the wrong side of this fight. Is he going to be able to reposition? Yes, he is. The Dryads no longer really shooting at the air, dealing with the Fiends. That's not really what you want, but now the first Frostworm might be falling, but he will be caught again, not being Dark Ritual. That's level 4 for the Demon Hunter, who still has the healing in his inventory. There comes the Rejuvenation being dispelled, however, but that was the last. Destroyer has to retreat, but now the Demon in trouble. Of course, there is a staff. Yes, there is. Now the Naga, though, very exposed. Has to be careful with that one. There is the slope, but he goes for the bears. Maybe a rare mistake in the micro department of 120, but he's getting rid of the army very quickly. Moon's heroes might be surviving, but the army is having a tough time. But 2 bears still standing, and a handful of Dryads, and the Frostworm just barely still up in the air. Demon Hunter returning with full HP is the king of this fight for now. The Fiends being sniped one after the other. Here we see a Dark Ritual again. Demon Hunter in trouble again, but there should be a staff. Don't forget, level 4 for the Naga, man. Getting so much experience in this fight. Triple statues on the ground don't really seem to be doing it. And the Naga dies. Fork Lightning. Her sister gets rid of her. And now there's no staff. And the Demon Hunter will surely fall as well. The mistake of there being no DP decides the game. Moon almost able to out-micro the micro god, but in the end he loses the heroes and loses the series.
That was on a knife's edge, man. The focusing of the worms was so good right from the start. He got rid of the first one very quick, and then I agree that it was a slight mistake to not focus the worm even more, but he was sent back and forth over the cliff, so he saved him with that. Great micro in that regard for 120, and in the end, yeah, the Naga loss definitely was the end for Moon. Without the damage, you can't do anything. The Dryads would have died in just a second because Lich, Naga, Fiend right clicks. 1-2-0 in the winner bracket final, and with only 2 map losses, if I saw that correctly. No, 3 map losses it is.
Very, very impressive though, nonetheless. But Moonman, he made a good showing. He didn't have a great start on Ancient Isles, but he came back very well, and that fight was so close, man. So extremely close. Alright, so Fly is waiting in the Constellation final. Moon is dropping down.
True that. He will face Fly, Moon and Fly. Oh boy, we saw this in 2008, 9 and 10, I guess. And we will see it in 2016 again. World champion versus one of the greatest of all time. We will have a short break here because there's gonna be some RPG being played again. So we're gonna take a break, and then I guess we're gonna do some talking again, some AMA, and then we're gonna finalize this tournament with the loser bracket final and the grand final.